right, so listen, the Taylor Swift thing, it caught our attention. The girls were really talking about it yesterday. And her language that she used on the trial caught everyone's attention, right? So, horrifying and shocking. That's just the beginning of what she called it.
Yeah, she testified that DJ David Mueller intentionally put his hand under her skirt and grabbed her buttocks, which, by the way, was not the word that she used in court.
She used the A word. He grabbed my bare. Yes. So here's some of the quotes. It was a definite grab, a very long grab. Got as far away from him as I possibly could when it happened.
Yes, Swift was very firm when facing questions from Mueller's lawyer, referring to this photo here. He asked if his client's hand was under her skirt and why isn't the front of her skirt lifted up?
Yeah, why isn't the front of your skirt lifted up?
Yeah.
She says, because my buttocks, she said, because my, again, that's the word she used, located in the back of my body.
That makes sense. Mueller, who was fired after the incident
my interpretation?
at a concert in 2013, filed a $3 million lawsuit claiming false allegations led to irreparable career damage. Swift countersued for assault and battery, asking for $1 in damages.
$1, because she wants to make a point. So we asked criminal defense attorney and legal analyst Sarah Azari to come in to talk to us about it. You can see the passion I'm feeling because I relate to it. I think
we all can, yeah.
I think a lot of women can relate to that, yeah. And I've had it happen to me. You know, this came up because he sued her first, and she said, you did this to me.
Right. He sued her for slander and interference with his prospective business because, frankly, his career is done. No radio station wants to take on this kind of liability. And so she responded by saying it was assault and battery because truth is a defense to slander. So she's saying this was actually true, and the reason I didn't take it to court and I didn't report it to the police is because I wanted to spare myself the victim shaming and the humiliation that, you know, the social media would create all these memes and, you know how it goes.
Well, her mom on trial said something like, well, I didn't want this to be the subject of every interview from here on out, right?
Correct.
So she was being very protective, and I get it. It makes sense. But should she have now, in hindsight, should she have reported this criminally, brought charges against him at the time?
I think that if she really felt strong enough about it, she probably would have, or somebody on her behalf would have, you know, encouraged her to do it. But I think what's going on here is that he's trying to save his name, and he's trying to prove that this really didn't happen so that he can go back to working in the industry.
Sarah, wait a minute. Let me back you up on this for a second. I've had this happen to me. I'm not going to call the police and file criminal charges. It's just you just want to get away from the dude or get him out of my way or get him out of my face or whatever. You know what I mean? Or I don't want to ever talk to him again. You don't file charges in cases like this.
Well, she did report it to the radio station. I think that they reported it sort of as a PS. Hey, your guy did this to Taylor Swift, you know, that this guy's kind of a creep.
Yes.
But then there was this whole independent investigation that went on the next day, and this is what I feel happened here, is the radio station did their own investigation. They looked at this photo, but they also interviewed him for 2 hours. And during that interview, he changed his story. At first, he said he didn't touch her at all. Then when confronted with the photo, he said, well, I touched her, but it was incidental to taking the photo. And the reason for his termination is very broad. It's not that he touched Taylor in her, you know what, it's that he violated the morality clause of his employment contract. So that could be because of the conduct with Taylor, but it could also be because of lying during an interview and investigation.
There are some other factors as well that went into his firing, from what I understand. But just backing up to that night, that picture, it's him, it's Taylor Swift. You can see her sort of leaning towards a woman in this picture.
Some body language.
This is his girlfriend, right? So that's an interesting part of this case.
It is, and that's what I feel. Again, I'm not questioning that this happens. I do come across in my line of work true victims of these offenses, but at the same time I feel like this is somebody who works in the industry, and his girlfriend's there, the fans are there, there's hundreds of people taking photographs, there's cameras, there's security. Why would he do this intentionally in this context?
Can we show the picture? Can we show the picture?
I think it's inconclusive. I think that photo just shows that his hand, he ran into the photo to be in the camera, you know, be in the picture, and he just sort of grabbed onto her wherever he could.
Yeah, but she made it like, no, he didn't just,
it was adamant that it was a grab, that he wasn't letting go.
There's the picture.
Here
okay?
it is.
And she said, and everyone's saying, oh, how do you not know that no one saw this? She said, look, there was a wall behind us. Unless there was someone on the floor underneath us, no, no one saw it.
No one saw. And here's what the jury is going to be asked to do. The jury is going to be asked to look at the photo. Photographs and videos are usually the best evidence. In this case, I think the photo is inconclusive. But they're going to have to take the photo and then look at the witness testimony, the people that say how distraught she was after taking this photo.
Right.
And then they're going to have to connect the dots. And if they do connect those dots, then Taylor's accusations are true, and he's going to lose his case. Yeah. And if she can prove that this is a frivolous lawsuit, she can in fact recover punitive damages.
Compelling testimony.
It's hard to say. It's like who's got the better credibility. Look, her witnesses are all her aides, people in her crew and her team. I mean, who's going to come take the stand and say something against their boss?
There's
welcome.
more.
Good to see
There's
you guys.
more. Thank
you always get that legal point of view when you think it's slam dunk. All right, we'll be right back. We got a lot more to talk about. Mercury's in retrograde.
We have a lot to talk about here.